With the recent reading of the Finance Bill 2025 in Parliament by the CS of Finance, John Mbadi, we got to sit down with the Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi, Hagai Thenye, to discuss the intricacies that it takes for this Finance Bill 2025. And also we got to touch on the serious and sensitive issue about the death of Albert Ojwang, who was found murdered at the Central Police Station. An incident which attracted nationwide attention and caused unrest in Nairobi CBD. We would like to send our condolences to the family and friends of the late Albert Ojwang, and we hope that justice will prevail. Well, join me as we have this conversation with the Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi, and I hope you learn a thing or two. And also, if you have any comments about this issue, comment in the comment section, and we'll be glad to read it out and learn more. And before that, kindly subscribe and like to our channel so that you can also support us as we also bring you this and other stories. Speaker, karibu sana.
Thank you very much, Ochino.
Yes.
It is a great pleasure hosting me.
Yes.
And I don't take it lightly. I appreciate. Yes.
Leo nilikuwa na expect tutakuja na suti kama kawaida, lakini naona
today is Friday.
Yes.
And I didn't have much engagement, official engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So before tuende sana, since our last interview hadi saizi, how have you been? Physically, health-wise?
Well, health-wise, you know, sometimes some body ache because of fatigue and things like that. You know, I deal with the people, and sometimes dealing with people isn't easy. So you just have to be very strong, and also emotionally ups and downs, but we must keep on moving. So we thank God for life, and we aren't doing bad.
Yeah.
Health-wise, at least I'm okay.
Yeah,
I'm okay.
Sawa.
Yes.
So now let's get into it. Jana, ulikuwa Bunge. You also got the privilege to be invited at Parliament. I don't know if you went to Parliament or you were at Treasury Building.
I was at Treasury Building.
Yes.
And again, I found my way to Parliament. I was invited. I just want to say something that this year's budget, I swore to be part and parcel of it, and that is why even I brought the Cabinet Secretary, the Executive Cabinet Secretary of Finance for National Treasury and Economic Planning to our noble social movement. So by doing that, so that he can be able to elaborate to Kenyan citizens at the lower pyramid and also the entire nation on what the bill entailed. And even yesterday, you saw him mentioning Bunge la Mwananchi National Headquarters Jivanji 4 times in the National Assembly. I think something which has never happened before. So I did this because last year's happenings was not only horrifying, but utter disrespect to humanity and also life. And I wouldn't wish such like things again to happen in our nation. And I just want to say that we can build Kenya through dialogue and ensuring that justice is served for everyone, because where there is no justice, there is no peace. Well, having said that, I think FCP here, Honorable John Mbadi, did us great by admitting to come. And the people, Wananchi engaged him, our honorable members of the National People's Assembly engaged him, and they really performed. The questions, he really performed well on the questions which our members were asking. But now, to that bill, public participations which have been conducted in conference, in halls, big halls, haven't helped at all. And that is why Mbadi did great. He didn't wait for the national planning, the committee, and the national budget, the National Assembly budget, to take that thing, because those MPs are crook. In those public participations, they only put their allies to attend those things. And I'm very much happy that Mbadi bypassed them by engaging Mwananchi directly. You saw him in Kibra, and this has at least cooled the tension. But you find most Kenyans do not understand the finance bill. So I think by Waziri doing that, at least he, and in a language, in a layman's language, not those economic and financial jargons, so by putting it into a layman, Kenya, juzi Ford Kenya, hiyo ikakuja tena new Ford Kenya, Kenya, juzi Ford Kenya, hiyo ikakuja tena new Ford Kenya, Kenya, juzi Ford Kenya, hiyo ikakuja tena new Ford Kenya. Corruption is zero rated. I think we will go far with that finance bill if it is fully implemented, because you find that much allocation was done to mining, because many people have died in in mining sites. You had the recent case in West Pokot. May their souls rest in peace. And you find this has also happened in many areas, for instance in Migori and other areas. We want mining to be not the outdated method. I think that is good. With the allocation of such amount of huge billions, I think if fully audited well and used well, we will be in the right direction. Again, climate change. You had a lot of billions have been over 100 to the to Ministry of Forestry, so that we can also plant trees, so that our weather can also be stable, to help farmers do well in agriculture. Agriculture allocation, livestock and things like that, ensuring that our livestock farmers in ASAL areas can export their livestock products to the international market, and also others can be used locally, ensuring that we have a manufacturing industry, so that shoes we shouldn't export. We can use those skin of the animals to our shoes. So I think by doing this, they will create employment, and also ensuring that Kenya goes in the right direction. Again, the allocation of Ministry of Health. We have the primary health coverage, we have the social hospital insurance fund, and also the emergency critical chronic fund, which got 10 billion. I think that will ensure that our cancer patients do not go through difficulties, but they can be attended in our national hospitals. You saw how he mentioned Kenyatta National Hospital, the Kenyatta University referral, Moi teaching referral, and also that one in Kisumu, Jaramogi. So I think by enhancing that, we will reduce Kenyans walking from a distance to get health cover. So this finance bill encompasses. I'm just explaining in a layman's language, because I don't want to go deep. People will not most Kenyans are understand those things. So we want just to put this finance budget in a language which people can understand, and areas which the government has invested. So I just want to say that a lot of auditing and a lot of checkings need to be done, so that corruption do not get its way into this. And this will happen when the commissions which are granted by our 2010 promulgated constitution take their roles actively to ensure that that budget fully achieved its mission, vision, and also objective, which Mbadi really reiterated. So with that happening, I think we will be able to achieve our vision 2030. If this is used well and the other one is we will achieve our vision 2030, and again put vision 2063 for Africa, because we must have a vision after a certain period of time. The population is increasing, and manufacturing is the only way which we can invest in to ensure that our country goes in the right direction. No country has ever grown without industrialization. So we must focus in industry. Each and every county has a potential. I was just forgetting. Again, the allocation to county governments of 474.8 billion, I think is a great milestone, so that our counties can solve their pending bills. By solving their pending bills, this will enable the small, medium enterprises thrive in business, because they supply, ensuring that whatever they supply is also paid on time. This can also change their living standard by doing that. So I think we are in the right direction. But he also allocated a good amount on MSMEs and cooperatives. So youths can just form groups and engage in businesses. The digital economy, content creators. I think that also somebody said well, that there will be no tax in any. So I think we are in the right direction. This will ensure that youths can invest more on their talent. There's no need of wasting your time somewhere where your talent isn't at all correlating with, so that youths can do what they need best. Also creative economy, sports, things like that, ensuring that our the talanta which is coming up, and also our studies are well put in the right with the good infrastructure, so that our youths who are talented in different sectors can exercise their talent. I think through doing that we will reduce the unemployment rate, which has really rocked Kenya. So we need also to focus on security, because you find in Kenya, just allow me to explain there a bit, you find that Kenya is prone to, for our neighbors get here easily, in spite of having free visa, which our president has really iterated. You know, Kenya's economy is performing well, and people will tend to move from where the economy is not moving well to where the economy. You remember the South Africa xenophobia. South Africa has really suffered, because you find countries like Zimbabwe, Mozambique, Angola, people tend to go there in huge numbers. So Kenya is tend to need. So we must also regulate that. When they come, what are they coming to do? Because you find these people coming to do the unskilled labor. You find most of them are unskilled labor. So they take the portion which could have been taken by Kenyans. So you find Kenyans go to Lebanon and those countries of Arabic countries, and you know what happens later. People die because our cultures are different. So let us protect our sovereignty, our patriotism, and let us implement this finance bill, financial year 2025-2026, and things will just go in the right direction. Despite we might not achieve, but at least we will achieve something if we remain disciplined.
If you have a wedding, baby shower, birthday party, or even a corporate event and you need media services, well, look no further than Safari Lens Media Production. Safari Lens Media Production is a media company that offers editing, videography, photography, graphic design services, and also live streaming. So if you have any event, contact Safari Lens Media Production. And I promise you, what I deliver, they'll do you good. They are professional, they offer professional services, and I'm sure you'll also like it. Let me take you back kidogo. I think what CS Mbadi did is something that maybe the previous Minister of Finance didn't do during the time of reading out the budget. He did something that alijaribu sana kuongelesha the normal mwananchi, ama kutumia a language that he was expounding more on the things that he was reading out on the budget. He was not just reading out the statements, alikuwa anajaribu expound more. Do you think that is the major issue, ama that's the major underlying issue, that there is a disconnect between the normal mwananchi and the government in terms of the language that they are using to communicate this finance bill to us? Because utapata wanatumia very big languages, some are very complex terms that sisi wenyewe, maybe a majority of the citizens might not understand. So you'll find that the few people who understand, and there is there is an alarm about the budget, unapata affect the society at large, because not a majority of the people understand the implications of the finance bill.
Oh, well, I want to thank His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto for appointing the right man for the job. Because by doing that, you know, long ago there has been enmity, and you find that people just elect their tribes because of that, but they cannot perform that job. So by putting Mbadi there as Suba, I think all people, I was in parliament, and you find even MPs from a certain region were fully supporting FCPA, John Mbadi Ngongo. He really ensured that this bill, this finance bill of 2025-2026, everyone is incorporated. The boda guys, the mama boga, he brought Bunge la Mwananchi, he brought the plumber people, all people in the informal sectors, the People's Assembly. He also ensured that he brought the parastatals and the corporate moguls. So it was everyone contributed in one way or the other. And therefore, when you find Mbadi was reading it, I think it was correlating well with the people's wish and also the direction which our economy want to go. The recurrent expenditure, the development expenditure, the contingency fund. I think it was interesting. He took 2 hours explaining himself. Just as you have said, Mbadi is living his dream. And we congratulate His Excellency William Ruto. And who knows, if Mbadi can serve there until maybe, I think we will go far. Yeah. We will go far. And I know, no parastatal, no agency, no government corporation will go there to do fishy things by inflating the procurement cost. It has to be followed. When you go to when your allocation, how did you use this allocation? That is where we request the Auditor General also to work hand in hand with the Ministry of National Treasury and Economic Planning to ensure that we don't have pilferages of corruption, so that these monies which are planned get their way into people's pockets. Conflict of interest, whereby someone in government also in tenders, and then they supply hewa. If either they supply hewa or work is not conducted well, because how can you supervise yourself? So that also he really explained himself well. So we are in the right trajectory. And I just want to assure Kenyans that let us just engage in talking, engage in debating, engage in where we don't understand. Let us continue talking and dialoguing, because we have a country to build. Egypt should not surpass us, because we find that in Egypt they have enjoyed peace despite the Tahrir Square, that thing. But where there is peace and justice, I think everything will go in the right direction. Kenya has a potential. So let each and everyone, whatever you do it as if you will never do it again. Do the right thing at the right time. Then we will be in the right direction.
And then we saw that the ministry, the security sector, the agriculture sector, and also the health sector, they got the largest share of the revenue allocation. Do you think such a decision, is it arrived at based on the manifesto of the government of the day, or is it arrived at based on the situation of the economic country? Or is it arrived at because of the priorities that maybe the Ministry of Finance and Treasury have in achieving maybe the Vision 2030? Or why is it that such ministries get this amount of money and such ministries get a low amount of money?
Well, you are aware, my brother, that development cannot go on well where there is violence, where there is anarchy. And our security, the security sector, the Kenya Defense Forces, the National Intelligence Service, and also the Kenya Police Service. We have people in the Kenya Police Service who are dedicated to their work, despite some hooligans and goons who found their way into the Kenya Police Service. I think they have done tremendously well to ensure that Kenya is stable, security-wise. You know, security things are private, and you cannot know what is happening behind the scenes to ensure. But I'll talk about the Albert Jang's case, and that's why I've said in the Kenya Police Service, you find there are people who have gone there, and that wasn't their call. That wasn't their call. I think we will tackle that in the next. So Kenya has tried, especially in commercial hubs, in capital cities, and also in many counties, despite having challenge in North Rift, and also in the side of Lamu, Garissa, the Boni Forest, those areas, and also the northern part of Kenya. I think a lot need to be done. That allocation, I think, was done like that to combat the insecurity in those areas. So I think we are in the right direction, and security need to tighten their belt, so that Kenya remains safe. So I think by doing that, much allocation to security, development which have been allocated to forestry, mining, MSMEs, cooperatives, those will not happen in where we have insecure environment. Business cannot happen where there is no peace. But for peace to be there has to be justice. There has to be justice. I know we will tackle that later. So I think the more allocation will help in combating the insecurity in the northern part. Peace cannot also not come by gunshots or by suppressing these people who are playing a pivotal role in security sector. I think in the case of North Rift, what they can do is to ensure that they build schools, they build churches, they build, just as I had said, stadium, so that these people can get things which make them busy. You see, it's not a matter of just shooting, but let us engage in community social responsibilities so that these youths get time to engage in economic activities and also activities which will make them occupied, not to think of doing certain things. And again, farming, also engaging in other activities, not only the traditional way of living, because that is outdated. They need also to do farming and also ensuring that they are rearing livestock which produce milk, the Fresian cow and things like that, which can produce for them milk. I think this will suppress Nini. So our Kenya Defence Forces have performed that in constructing schools and also ensuring that they normally do a good job. So other security organs must also work hand in hand to ensure that we reduce the gunshots. Recently, Nani was killed, Alois. We will also tackle that in our next episode. But that shouldn't happen. That shouldn't happen. No Kenyans should lose life in such a scenario. So by investing a lot in security, I think we are in the right trajectory if it is used well, to ensure that they have up-to-date equipments to tackle their work, their day-to-day duty, to ensure that Kenyans are safe, because we are surrounded by insecure countries. You remember our neighboring Somalia, I think it is struggling to Ethiopia, the squabbles there, Southern Sudan, the DRC. We are surrounded by very insecure and economically unstable countries. So I think we must ensure that our security is safe. And the immigration department must also ensure that they check on who is coming into our country. Even if we have the East African free visa, what are they coming to do? What are they coming to do? Because just as I had said, the unskilled laborers, we have Kenyans who are unskilled. Those slots can be done by them so that we reduce the number of what people suffering in foreign countries and coming back in caskets. Very horrifying. So that is what I wanted to say. By investing a lot in security, to ensure that we are secured, and the allocation in also other sectors can thrive, because business will not thrive where there is a war. Anytime we have demonstration, businesses go through a lot, and some people are doing business through loan. So if someone comes and destroy your business, you are struggling to pay loan, how will you survive? So I think Kenyans, let us see that even if we are agitating for our rights, let us not destroy our fellow Kenyans' properties, because people are struggling to make a living, a honest living, to also raise their family. It is not good to destroy someone's business or stone or kill someone. Just you are right in any way, because where your right ends is where the other person's right starts. My take.
Lastly, on this issue of our finance bill 2025, based on your background as a CPA, certified public accountant from the University of Nairobi, with this current finance bill, how different is it from last year's finance bill that caused a lot of unrest? And how different is this one in terms of the public acceptance and in terms of also the details that are in each allocation? Do you see a scenario whereby we will go to where we were last year? Or how different will this be with the common Mwananchi according to your expertise?
Last year, I tried to access a Cabinet Secretary for Finance, for National Treasury and Economic Planning, Professor Ndungu. I really tried to access him, but unfortunately, my efforts were futile. And had he implemented what I wanted, because that is what Mbadi did by coming to the grassroots, and so that initiative, it works. Come and engage these people, because by coming and engaging, they feel part and parcel of the Nini. Let us stop this public participations in conference centers, in big hotels, in big studio. Come there on ground so that some societies, some evil groups do not find a way of pinning you down. That never happened. And the two committees of parliament also failed because they also did their public participation in conferences, in 4- and 5-star hotels, and there common Mwananchi cannot access.
Yeah.
So by coming on ground, he made sure that Mwananchi feel part and parcel of this finance bill, and it has quelled, because even the yesterday demos were not on finance bill, but the murder of youthful Albert Ojwang, may his soul rest in peace and comfort to his family.
Yeah.
So by ensuring that was done, I think it quelled, and there was nothing like that, despite some people trying to come, but he was ready to go. He even went to Kibra to explain what it contains in a layman's language, just as I had said. So by doing that, it quelled, it suppressed, and people came to understand. Last year, the terms which they used were very professional. Public participation was done in 4- and 5-star hotels and conferences where a common Mwananchi cannot access. And also, what might have annoyed the young generation was also taxing the digital economy, the content creators and things like that. I think that could have affected that. They saw that could have affected their thriving and also their profit making. So this time, Badi worked on that and ensured that there is no tax in the digital sector, so that youths can thrive and make Nini, and also a source of employment to ensure that that Nini is sorted. So by Badi doing that, it has quelled a lot of tension. Where I only had a problem is the rationale on which political parties are given money. Instead, that money should be given to NGOs, non-governmental organizations, and community-based organizations which have done more of socio-economic progression to the society, rather than a briefcase political party. So there, I think Badi must look. This political party fund allocation to political parties, I think it should be scrapped. An act should come in parliament as quick as possible, so that it is scrapped. That money can be given to CBOs, youths who have formed CBOs in in slums, and also in the interior rural areas, so that women and youths can thrive and engage in things which can empower them to ensure that their life is stable. So that should be looked into. Political parties are private entities, and they have contributed a lot to the political instability in Kenya, because you find that in areas where political parties enjoy solid support, they give their cronies certificates, and this affect good leadership in those areas, and you find this has really affected development. So political parties also do injustice, political injustice, without attacking IEBC. Injustice starts at party primaries, because the highest bidder you are given, and you find that you are a youth and you articulate issues well, you are honest, you want to change the life of the people using the allocations of funds as enshrined in the 2010 promulgated constitution, the funds which have been allocated at county, constituency, and those. If we get honest people to use them in changing people's life, I think Kenya will be another Singapore. If possibly Singapore and those Malaysia countries, we were ahead of them. But you find these things of many political parties have given us goons, because they they nominate people who have come with money. You don't know the source of their money. This has led to leadership. We lack strong leadership, without only castigating the president, but let us also get that MCA. Like now in Nairobi County, they are being given some ward development fund. Where is it going to? Because you find there's still pilferages of sewages. There, pale kwa mtaani, you find that everywhere is dirty in the estate. So I think with that, let's start at the grassroots level, come to county level, because a lot of corruption also happen at the county level. So one thing I just wanted to say, let me take you back. Allocation to political parties should be scrapped. Political parties have given us leaders who are not honest, based on friendship and a connection. This brings me to a point whereby even a curse of multi-party democracy. We are suffering a curse of multi-party democracy. I think we need to have, if more, three parties. Three parties ideologically framed, so that we don't have briefcase parties, many parties around. We need to have three well-organized parties, whereby if two, you can choose one. If it is not okay, you can choose one. I know you cannot make mistake thrice. Yeah. So we need to have only three parties with good structures, good ideologies, spearheading national peace and unity, spearheading freedom and justice, and also equity, and also fairness, things like that, social justice. So we need to have, let us come with an act in parliament. I know many members of parliament. I'll access some of them to ensure that if that petition can be taken to parliament, so that we can have few political parties, so that we have political hygiene. Because what we lack now is a political, it's not hygienic. And this makes us get leaders who do not deserve serving us. So one thing I just want to say again, the allocation of political parties in the budget should be scrapped. And NGOs empowered, CBOs empowered, and other also enterprise. Even that fund can go to a youth enterprise fund and things like that, so that people can do business and people can engage themselves in their skills, vocational skills, to ensure that our nation grow, our country grow in the right trajectory.
Speaker, I think you've given it, I'll say, it's not a layman's language, but I'll say it's a simple explanation of basically what the Finance Bill 2025 entailed.
Precisely.
Kwenye imefika sasa, it's up to our parliament for them to do the necessary proceedings.
Absolutely.
The first reading, second reading,
coming up with the acts, coming up with the changes, slight changes, but which are favorable to Mwananchi.
But I think one good thing is that the awareness that Finance Bill has been raising so far, from last year's Finance Bill up to this year's Finance Bill, at least the young generation here, we're getting to know, we're getting to pay attention to what is entailed to this Finance Bill. Because years to come, by the time you're 60 years old, 70 years old, kutakuwa na many reforms, and at least if you start following it up from now, you as the Mwananchi, utakuwa able kujua pesa yako inaenda na pesa yako inatumikaje. So now, let's shift gears now and go to the unfortunate incidents that happened in the country. It got nationwide attention and nationwide unrest. The killing of Albert Ojwang. He was found dead at Central Police Station. And there are so many reports about it, there are so many things about it. With the current proceedings at Senate, I think this is one of the serious murder cases that we've experienced as a country in the recent past. For you, how do you see this probe that is currently going on, and what can be done to stop such killings, because it's quite unfortunate?
First and foremost, I want to sincerely thank honorable members of the National People's Assembly, Bunge la Mwananchi, who unanimously passed that extrajudicial killings should be condemned and should stop. No Kenyan should lose life, no matter the crime he has done. No matter the crime, he should be taken to court, and the court should decide whether he will be charged on bond or go on jail. So I think whoever takes someone's life, I think something needs to be done. We need to see heads rolling. The IPOA, the Office of the Inspector General, the chain of command, the Director of Criminal Investigation, I think they need to bring that trust, the government trust. You know, people used to go to government facilities, and you just have that trust, you'll be served well. The public service trust. We have a very rotten public service, to be sincere. You find that when you go for a service, even the way they talk to you, many Kenyans even fear getting into public utilities for treatment, for inquiry, and also etc., etc. So it is high time that the Kenya Police Service must ensure that it brings back the trust which Wananchi have been having. You know, when you are cornered and something has been stolen from you, you'll go to police station to report, to have an in the occurrence book, abbreviated as OB, so that you need it. But currently, no, trust is gone. Trust is gone. So how do we bring back the trust? Is to ensure that those who participated in the killing of youthful Albert Ojwang are brought to book. And I think I'll also, Nini, with MPs, I'll also try to access MPs that whoever takes the life of the other, his life also should be taken on the spot. I think when we bring such an act and put it in the name, I think it will at least bring sanity. If you kill me, you should also be killed.
But don't you think,
broad daylight.
But don't you think the civil rights, the human rights of societies will have an issue with that?
No.
Yeah.
But why are people taking others' life and they are left scot-free? Why do they don't have problem with that? Why should you take a life which you cannot give? Like me, I cannot give you life.
Yeah.
Why should I take it? Why should you take someone's life? Someone, a young man who has even humanity. You know, people can even say sorry. Why can't you even hear that? Even if he wronged you.
Yeah.
Why can't you? I mean, taking is life to death. That is bad. That is bad, and action should be taken. Those human rights who will say that thing is bad. Why is killing and the other one is living good? Why? When you are killing, why should you be forgiven? Why should you be forgiven? You could have forgiven that person who wronged you. If they felt that Albert Ojwang wronged them, why could have they taken him to court? They could have taken him to court so that he's prosecuted, and they see if he can be taken to jail. I think his family can go and visit him, or charge him, so that he can pay some substantial amount of money as cash bail and things like that. So I think losing life is very painful, and may Almighty God comfort the entire family. And our MPs must move with speed to ensure that those who did this are brought to book and action is taken. And that bill of ensuring that if you take someone's life, yours also should be taken, I think it will bring some order. If you steal someone's property, you should be jailed for life. During demonstration, I see people getting into other shops. Do you know what it costs to put a business? You know, people who don't have anything to lose. Yeah. Why should you go and destroy someone's business in the form of fighting for your right? Yeah. I think you should rot in jail, and by rotting in jail, you go and do farming in government farms, so that Kenyans can have food stability. Yeah. That should mean government should buy tinga and ensure that such people are put are locked, and they work 24/7 to ensure that Kenya has food. In Northeastern, we still have big chunks of land. We can buy tractors to ensure that they produce food which can feed Kenyans. So taking someone's life, that should not be tolerated. Yeah. The IG must move with speed, chain of command. The DCI, the IPO, they must bring that trust which the public had in the service. Yeah. Because by issuing such statements, I think it has brought confusion, and that respect is gone. It is not good to see a Kenyan want to fight a police officer. Meanwhile, that thing is gone, and it is them who some police officers are wrong. We cannot say that all police officers are bad. We have very disciplined police officers. Yeah. We had some who were trying to save lives. Even they went, and up to date their life has not been. So you remember that case? A police officer who tried to save a life during the flooding, and he has not been gotten up to date. So we have disciplined people, but only few indisciplined people in the force, in the service, are destroying the entire thing. So someone atasema tu polisi ni wabaya, ilhali kuna wale mapolisi ambao wanafanya mambo ambayo yanaenda sako kwa bako na sheria zetu za Jamhuri ya Kenya. So I just want to urge that the few and the recruitment process, let people who have gone through National Youth Service get their way to police service, to Kenya Defence Forces, to National Intelligence Service. Because if you pick somebody who has gotten basic education he has not that discipline, There's no discipline. So let's ensure that everyone who goes to the force must pass through national youth service, so that they are well equipped on artificial nini, and also they are disciplined. That discipline is incorporated in the national youth service very well.
Yeah.
So that should be done. Whatever, let this case be the last. I think we should not again just fight, then tomorrow someone again is shot. You remember the two twins who were shot in Embu, the killings which happened in Kisumu, and Baby Pendo. These things have happened. Pio Gama Pinto, it started with Pio Gama Pinto, post-independence. And before we had Dedan Kimathi, injustices, these all sorts of injustices, I think must be solved so that Kenya can move forward.
Yeah.
It is not a must that we must kill so that we move forward, so that we get what we want. But through dialogue. I've been spearheading dialogue, even peace in Mwananchi, but peace cannot happen where there is no justice. So I think they need to move with speed to ensure that justice is served for the Ojwang's family and those other areas which people who have killed others. And again, the parliament, if they are serious, they need to come with a law. They need to come with a bill which will be sent to by the president, which brings a strong terms and conditions when a Kenyan take the life of his or her fellow Kenyan, or when a Kenyan take a life of even a foreign citizen now in our land. I think we need to have that tough law so that we can have order in our country, and moral values, because we have lost moral values. Yeah, we have lost moral values. And again, respect is a two-way traffic. So if you want respect, you must also respect others. That is the direction we want. Yeah.
I think the way you said that peace cannot prevail without justice. And we've seen the senators, some senators are calling for the resignation of the IG, some senators are calling for arresting of the people who did this. In this scenario, the Albert Jang murder probe, what does justice look like for his father, or what does justice look like generally in terms of the Constitution of Kenya? Which is that decision? If the IG resigns, or the deputy IG resigns, or the people who did this are arrested and jailed, what does justice look like? And should this be a case that maybe can also set up a pace for maybe the reforms that you're suggesting? Is this something that can hold enough water to bring such changes?
Well, you have asked a very professional question. It is not a matter of just resignation of the IG and the chain of command. It's not a matter of just resignation, because once we have working systems and structures, we need to have rules and regulations, and people who are there to such rules and regulations. We are still stuck to the colonial era, whereby you are appointed based on your qualifications, papers. I think that shouldn't be the case, because you find many people have found their way into a very strategic and lucrative positions in every sector, security inclusive. So what am I saying? That we need to have rules and regulations in our systems and structures which are adhered to, and ensure that before someone goes to such positions, before a Kenyan is given a gun to guard his or her fellow Kenyans, they must have good moral values. Their intelligent quotient, their social intelligence must be well looked at. Because if that doesn't happen, that resign IG. If the IG resigns and another one comes and just continue, so how many people will resign? How many people will be killed? I think going forward we must do things right. Let the recruitment process be done orderly, so that right people are recruited, Christians, people of value, young Kenyans from National Youth Service who have offered free services.
If you have a wedding, baby shower, birthday party, or even a corporate event and you need media services, well, look no further than Safari Lens Media Production. Safari Lens Media Production is a media company that offers editing, videography, photography, graphic design services, and also live streaming. So if you have any event, contact Safari Lens Media Production. And I promise you, deliver. They'll do you good. They are professional. They offer professional services, and I'm sure you'll also like it.
Who have shown their ability, who have shown their talent in serving the nation. The NYS are very disciplined, and you have seen them around. Those are the people who should be absorbed. If you find these indisciplined people and looked at their background, most of them didn't pass through NYS. I'm not saying all, but a good percentage. So I think that should be done. We need to have working structures and systems which respect the rule of law and observe also the rule of law. Resignation, killing. You resign, and killing continues. Because if you have been in the country, people had a problem with the former police commissioners. Then later on, when the constitution come, many IGs who are passed, a lot of injustices have happened, extrajudicial killings, but just resign or retire, what. So it has been recurrent. So by calling for the resignation of the top rank is not only enough, but let us ensure that we have working systems which adhere to the rules and regulations, not only in the security sector, but also in each and every sector of our country. A Kenyan should not go in hospital, a surgery is done, and some negligence occurred, medical negligence. Then this happens in 2013. Then you get justice in 2025. Those are not working systems. Why should it take 12 years to get justice? We need to have working systems in the judicial system, in the judicial sector, in the security sector, in the health sector, and in every other sector, the agricultural sector. Why should someone give Kenyans a fake fertilizer and still left scot-free, and the taxpayers' money at just resign or being sacked? People should be held responsible for their misdeeds and put in jail. And not only put in jail, they must work in government farms so that Kenya can get food, working from 7 to 7. Yeah, they should be given a thorough punishment for some years, even 10. Yeah, so that we discipline. Let us instill discipline. But for us to instill discipline, let us instill justice fear. Social justice fear. Something must be done bad, like in China. You see, when you steal, you are killed.
Yeah.
There are some countries where if you steal, you just even yourself. You just even kill yourself. True or false?
Yeah. Part of such. Yeah.
Why in Asia? There are some countries which if you kill, you just kill yourself. If you steal and something, you have stolen, you just kill yourself because you don't want to go through that pain.
Yeah.
Can we put that in Kenya? It is possible. So that people will, in the transport sector, you find you are driving this side and another car is also coming towards you, and it should be on the sides. In our highway, overtaking has cost many lives, and people have lost their breadwinners. So we need to put rules and regulations. Tough.
Yeah.
Some might not. Some might look inhuman, but that will be the right direction. That will be the right direction. However painful it will, but after a certain period of time, it will instill order.
Yeah.
And when order is there, my mom tells me during Moi's time there was order. There was order, and people were very patriotic when the national anthem was being sung. All people could sing it, because even in the primary school, you are told how to pledge to your country. Nowadays, no one can even pledge to our country, Kenya. And also, in our national anthem, majority do not know. Even our national anthem, we lost patriotism. 2003 up to date. Now it is 22 years. We have lost patriotism. Cumulatively, we have lost, as years go by, we lose our patriotism, and even our sovereignty is gone.
Yeah.
Long before, no one could come into this country if you are not coming to do something tangible. Only top investors used to come, because Moi really protected our borders. But since Mwai Kibaki's time, I think democracy has been misused.
Yeah.
Democracy has been misused, and this has led to indiscipline, both in the civilian and also in government sector. And now we are here.
Yeah.
Now we are here crying. So we need also to come with strict measures in our National Assembly, so that it becomes a part and parcel of our constitution, so that even if it is done, no, these evil people who normally want to delay processes, even in the government, procurement process, people delay because we have still some loopholes. Let things be done openly and the best taken, so that we don't delay processes. Every sector is languishing, delay, be it transport, be it road, be it security, be it agriculture, be it where. There's delay because you find people taking a different time. Might have taken to court to stop that. I've taken you to court to stop that. So that is not the right direction to follow. So let's come with the strict measures so that in future we don't again say, oh, IG resign. Tomorrow it might not be Douglas Kanja. It will be someone else, and you'll hear, oh, resign because man X or woman X has been killed. We don't want this reoccurrence. My take.
Finally, Bwana Speaker, tukimalizia. Being that you're the national speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi, you head all the branches of Bunge la Mwananchi, Jivanji being your main headquarter, I think a majority of the people, a majority of the normal Mwananchi, a majority of the normal citizens are relating so much with Bunge la Mwananchi because the people who you head, who are speaking there, people who get the platform to speak there, and you see them on social media, ni watu wanavaa kama sisi, wanaongea kama sisi, so we relate a lot with them. Being that you play a very crucial role in Bunge la Mwananchi, with the current happenings, finance bill and the Albert Jang murder case and all, going forward, what are some of the things that you think you'll be focusing more on? And currently, judge from Bunge la Mwananchi, how are the members of Bunge la Mwananchi absorbing and taking the occurrences that are happening in the country?
Ours as Bunge la Mwananchi is to oversight, do the social oversight, and also ensuring that we spearhead the voice of the voiceless Kenyans, because we are concerned citizens of this great nation. So I think by doing that, we speak the mind, we speak the wish of a common Mwananchi, because all of us cannot be in the National Assembly, all of us cannot be in the Senate, all of us cannot be in counties assembly. We only have 1,450 in the county assemblies across the country. We have 300 and something in the national, 290 in the National Assembly, and also 47 at the Senate. So all of us cannot be there. So that is why our founders came up with this thing of People's Assembly. And there we speak the mind of each and every Kenyans. And you find currently we have opened branches, and also many attend at our national headquarters, and we speak the voice. Many people are following us online, and that is why I encourage our members not to be sycophants and speak for truth, so that our country can be in the right direction. We must speak the truth. We must ensure that justice is there for peace, love, and unity to be achieved easily, because it has been very difficult achieving that without freedom, justice, and also And also, I would urge that in as much as we agitate for that, let us also not crisscross and also affect the operation of others. What has affected us, the negative ethnicity and also political affiliation, and also the moral values. You know, not all people were brought the same. You and I weren't brought the same. You have some values, I also have some values. Like that. There are also some people who are confined to their ethnic background. We have some people who are affiliated to their parties. That's that if you talk ill of their leader or their parties, they become uncontrollable. So those are some of the things which are affecting our normal operation to ensure that we engage in a very engaging debates on socio-economic and political progression of our country, and define that hate of undermining others' culture. So these are things which are affecting our societal, and also they are affecting Bunge la Mwananchi, but we must just have to cope and to ensure that how do we overcome them, so that we don't leave them overcome us. And sincerely speaking, we have managed, since I took power and brought media, we have groomed people on how to talk. And even if some people are trying to go astray, I call them behind the scenes and tell them, hey, out there, people are viewing you and don't have a bad name. You better have a good name, because a good name will make you survive. If you have a good name, even if things are difficult, it will make you survive. Now, even here, when you call the son of Nelson Mandela or the son of Idi Amin Dada, when they come here, if you just say Idi Amin Dada or Nelson Mandela or who there's something which runs to your nini. So as Bunge la Wananchi, many people are following us. What am I trying to say? Many people are following, and you'll find you are known in a certain angle. So ensure you have a good perception out there, so that by having a good perception, we strengthen our social movement in external perceptions, because we are the concerned citizens. Also, not all Kenyans can come there. Not all Kenyans can come there. Only concerned citizens. People normally come. And you find in a day is from 4 people, from 10, those who are on night shift, those who are going back for night shift, those who are living in the evening, their economic activities, like that. So you find Kenyans from all walks of life are there, because they are concerned. They want to hear what is going on in their country. So not all people can be there, but let us ensure that we speak the right voice of our common Mwananchi. We call for justice. We call for freedom. We call for peace. We call for love. We call for unity. We call for unprecedented level of moral values. That is the right direction. We are in 21st century. In fact, this is the last year of the first quarter of 21st century. So there are things which will not get us, even 2026 going forward, like killings, like stealing, like destroying other people's life, like trying to bring others down, others down for you to rise. We cannot rise by bringing others down, but we can rise by
lifting others,
by working together and ensuring that we go in the right direction. If you feel maybe Ochino has not done right, or a guy has not done right, we can dialogue. You can tell me, a guy, this you are not going right. Ochino, this you are not going right. Let us get it this way. Then we do analysis, the SWOT analysis, the strength, the weakness, the opportunities, the threat, so that we all get in the right direction. So that is what we will say in any fora, in anywhere we meet, and we will keep talking, because failing to talk is not only bad for our country, but will be worse to our society.
Sasa, Speaker.
Yes.
Personally, nimeshukuru. Thank you for your time.
Pleasure.
This is the second time to reach out na you created your time, umekuja. At least pia tunajaribu kupata what's happening in the country. And bring that to the Speaker of Bunge la Mwananchi. You have a broader perspective. You hear what people say on the ground. I'll say kama kuna mesha ya ground, Bunge la Mwananchi ni ground. Because you have everyone from different parts of the country, Patana, Jibanji, and they get to talk. Sasa, it's been a pleasure. Shukran sana.
Thank you very much. Maybe I give a point. Okay. One thing I just want to urge Kenyans is that let's ensure that justice be our shield and defender, just as it is stated in our Kenyan national anthem. Let justice be our shield and defender for a genuine peace, love, and unity to be achieved. And to the youths of this country, let's work together to ensure that we achieve our mission and vision, because when we work together, we will achieve our desires on time. Thank you very much, and God Almighty bless.
And also, if you've been watching from home and you like this conversation, for this and much more, subscribe to our channel hapa chini, press the subscribe button so that you can also grow as a community. You can grow sisi wote and share ideas. Comment hapa chini if maybe speaker amesema kitu and au agree nayo, hapa hivi chini kwa comment section. Just add your comment, nitakuwa poa sana so that you can also grow pamoja. We also inform and educate each other. I've been your host Ochino, the only Kenyan who is a man, a boy, and also a friend. We are out.